Welcome to Dolan Auto Group's Friday Night Rivals, presented by Sonic, America's Drive-In, with your hosts Ethan O'Brien and Dan Gustin. Brought to you by Gustin Sports Productions and My21 TV. Live high school basketball action every Friday night, starting right now.
We're at Reno High School tonight for girls basketball. Good evening, I'm Chris Healy along with Ethan O'Brien. And Ethan, we have a really good contest ahead of us tonight, don't we?
Yes, we do. I am so excited about this basketball game. Two evenly matched teams when you talk about the Reed Raiders and the Reno High Huskies. Amazing guard play when you talk about Michaela Schultz for the Reno Huskies, one of the best guards we have in the North. Exciting ball game.
And it's time to actually start thinking about who's going to go where in the playoffs. So this game's important.
Yes, it is very important. And believe me, both of these teams and coaches realize that this is a statement game for both of these teams. And although they will play each other twice, but this game they want to put on the mind so when the next time they play each other, they want the other team to remember.
Now, what kind of matchup are you looking for?
Well, extreme guard play, great guard play, fast-paced basketball game, a lot of dribble penetration. I don't think either team is going to settle. This game is not going to be won by pounding the ball inside. It's going to be about taking care of the basketball, creating turnovers, and getting out in transition.
Now, Brenna Green will talk to us later in this broadcast about some of the distractions with all the snow that we've had.
Oh, yes.
Mentally, the kids need to be prepared, don't they?
They do need to be prepared. It may be cold outside, but in the words of Nelly, it's going to be hot in here tonight with these two teams.
So, and it's going to be really important for one of these two teams to get established early, get off to a fast start.
It is, and I've seen both of these teams. You know, I saw Reno play against Minogue and Reed play against Noah Court. Evenly matched, and both of these teams believe that they can be the representatives of the North going down south for the state tournament.
So we're going to have some high school girls basketball soon, right after this. Welcome back to Reno High School for My21 TV's Friday Night Rivals. We have the Reed girls versus the Reno girls. Let's look at our starting lineups. Brought to you by our keys to the game, actually brought to you. And our keys to the game, Ethan O'Brien for the Reed Raiders. No turnovers. They need to rebound and they need to play good defense. And for the Reno Huskies, they need to handle the pressure, they need to rebound, and they need to contain the dribble. This is just basic basketball, isn't it?
Any team, whether it's at the NBA level, doesn't matter. These are the things you have to do if you're going to win basketball games, and good D is probably the number one thing.
And the young ladies are going to have to carry out the game plans of their respective coaches. Well, let's meet them now here on the Shields starting lineup. Shields, where your retail adventure begins, at the Legends at the Sparks Marina. Now, for the Reed Raiders, Taylor Johnson will be at 5'8" guard, Vanessa Hernandez, Autumn Wadsworth, Serene Townsell, and Janae Bluehorse. This is a lineup that really likes to get up and down, score the ball, and they're young.
They are extremely young, and what they also like to do is get behind that three-point line, penetrate and kick. And if you help off too much, they're not afraid to shoot it and knock it down.
And for the Reno Huskies starting tonight, the Huskies, a more veteran group. They have Dominique Harding, Michaela Schultz, Caitlin Biasu, Mia Wilmot, and McCain Murdoch on your Shields starting lineup. What do the Huskies have to do?
Well, I think Michaela Schultz and Biasu has to have big games. Michaela Schultz, the point guard, going to have to take care of this basketball, not turn over, but also score for her basketball team in order for them to win.
Those are your Shields starting lineup. Shields, where your retail adventure begins, at the Legends at the Sparks Marina. We'll be back with more on Friday Night Rivals right after this. Welcome back to Reno High Schools here on Friday Night Rivals. It's girls basketball tonight between the Reed Raiders, coached by Sarah Schoper, and the Reno Huskies, coached by Shane Foster. Down at courtside, we have Brenna Green, and Brenna has been talking to the coaches over the past couple of days. What is the effect of all this weather had on the physical and mental aspects of tonight's basketball game?
Washoe County schools shut down for the day like they did yesterday because of that snow. That also means that athletic practices are canceled as well. So these teams only really got one day to prepare for each other. That day was Wednesday. That could be a big factor in this game, especially for the Reed ladies. There's only 2 seniors on that roster, and neither of them start. So a lot of youth on that team. Back to you guys.
Well, thank you, Brenna Green at courtside. We'll talk to Brenna throughout the broadcast. And now we're going to talk about our power players on this ball game. Let's talk about the Reed Raiders. Taylor Johnson, she's the starting guard. Vanessa Hernandez, also a guard. You said they were guard-oriented, Ethan.
Yeah, and you're talking about 2 extremely well-coached and skilled guards. When you talk about Johnson and Hernandez, Taylor Johnson can't give her much room. She'll knock down. When she's in the gym, she's in range. Terrific three-point shooter.
And, of course, as Brenna talked about, the conditioning, is there any worry about conditioning just because they missed a couple of practices here?
Well, I don't think so in this game. I don't think that's going to be a factor because a lot of these kids, although they didn't get organized practice, I saw a lot of these kids in the gym getting some work in and doing sprints. So, once the ball go up in the air, I don't think conditioning is going to be anything you have to worry about.
So it's Taylor Johnson and Vanessa Hernandez against the Reno power players of this ball game, and that would be Michaela Schultz and Dominique Harding. And again, Reno always produces nice basketball players, and these are 2 of them.
And great guards, too. As far back, Megan Nunn, you talk about Gigi Hatchef, Stephanie Rivetti, Shannon Goblin. These Michaela Schultz and Harding just following in those footsteps. And when you talk about Michaela Schultz, she's only a junior. And what do I know about point guards? But in my personal opinion, she's the best point guard on this side in the North.
Well, it's a good matchup tonight. It's the Reed Raider ladies versus the Reno Husky ladies. We'll be back with more of back with the tip-off brought to you by Northern Nevada Coin right after this on Friday Night Rivals. Welcome back to Reno High School. Getting ready for tip-off here, brought to you by Northern Nevada Coin, making it easy for you to shop local and always paying top dollar for your gold and silver. 3 locations to serve you in Reno, Carson, and Minden. So here goes the tip-off, and tonight's game underway. And the Huskies control the tip and the layup.
Dominique Harding there with the tip. A great job by Biasu of tipping that ball forward so Dominique could run underneath it and get a layup.
Good start for the homestanding Huskies from the corner. That is Blue Horse. Air ball, and the Huskies on the run. So, Ethan, as we see the pace of this game, you can see it rather frenetic right from the beginning.
Both teams having a hard time just handling the ball, picking it up.
That's Schultz. She's going to be fouled. Taylor Johnson will pick up the early foul. That's not a good start for the first 35 seconds of this game if you're the Reed Raiders.
You're exactly right. You get a good look at a jump shot. You don't hit rim. But then, Reno, if they could just hang on to it, have some good penetrating opportunity. Murdoch for 3 there.
Nice inbounds play, and Murdoch hits the 3. Reno off to a 5-0 lead.
Now, if she starts knocking down that shot, it could be a long night for the Raiders.
So the Reed Raiders got to set something up. Sarah Schoper Ramirez, the head coach, knows she needs a bucket early on, 1 minute into this game. Shot from the outside, no good, and here come the Huskies.
See, if you're a team that likes to shoot a lot of threes, and that's a good call there, she's going to get whistled for the travel. If you're a team that likes to shoot a lot of threes, it can be really tough, especially when you're on the road traveling, to just be lights out.
Shane Foster likes the full court press, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does. I think he's got the players to get it done with. This is a small group he has out there, but pretty athletic.
Wadsworth up top sets the offense. Reno very aggressive early on D. Drive, no call. Reno on the run.
Yeah, I thought Tanzel got held on the arm there. And look at Schultz all the way to the basket, Chris. And this is what we talked about early. I mean, just coast to coast, you cannot give up those type of baskets.
Reno off to the fast start in the 7-0 lead. Barely 1:45 into this game.
Both of these teams been looking forward to this game here because they all understand that they both played Minogue extremely tough, so they look at this as a measuring stick type of game. Where do I match up with with one another?
Vanessa Hernandez on the turnover, countering Reed with a full court press against Reno, easily broken by the Huskies. Good ball movement, nice pass, travel. Reno, couple of turnovers early on. but they still have a big lead here.
Yeah, and their turnover's a little different. They got the aggressive turnovers. See, that's not an aggressive turnover right there. See, Reno turnovers are trying to get to the basket. You can live with those as a coach.
So Dominique Harding will inbound for the Huskies, enjoying this early 7-0 lead. Nice pass inside, bucket by Biasu. The lead is 9.
I'm surprised Coach Soper hadn't called a timeout yet.
Blue Horse from the corner, she nails it.
See, now she can shoot it. This young lady played at Douglas High School a year ago and now up at Reed, and she can flat out shoot the ball.
So Reed can settle in now after hitting a bucket. Now they need to have a stop on D.
That's the good thing about the three-point shot. Even when you find yourself down a lot, you can catch up in a hurry if you knock them down. And there's Murdoch with 2.
Murdoch 5 on the evening. Here comes Blue Horse from 3. Good hustle by the Reed Raiders. Is home court advantage coming into play early in this?
Well, when you talk about shooting, I don't think this has been a friendly gym when it comes to visitors shooting the basketball. It's a tough place to shoot.
The follow by Wilmot does not go. Fouled in the backcourt is Townsell.
As you see here on the replay, Townsell looking to push the ball, transition, get fouled from behind. But Reed looks a little shaky with the pressure that Reno is applying.
Okay. So we're going to have a player of the game, so stay tuned for tonight's Reno Sport and Spine player of the game. Obviously, too early to tell who it's going to be.
Oh, that's good defense by McCain Murdoch. Just held the ground. Good push.
McCain Murdoch on D, already has 7 points on the night. 3-pointer by Mia Wilmot, and the lead is now 11.
And seeing it allows them to set up their full court pressure. Reed's not doing a good job of keeping the ball off the sidelines. All you have to do is flash someone middle, hit middle, you just defeated the press.
So Reed will inbound, badly needing another bucket.
And they're not getting it there.
Reno sweeps the boards. What a first quarter for Shane Foster's club, leading by 11 halfway through the first quarter. There's a travel. And we're going to take a timeout. We're going to take it. Friday Night Rivals here on My 21 TV. The Reno Huskies with the early advantage. As this game progresses, we'll have our Savage and Son play of the game. Savage and Son, over 120 years of doing plumbing right the first time. Give them a call, and they'll tell you we're on it. Chris Healy, along with Ethan O'Brien and Brenna Green, bringing you tonight's ball game. And I'll tell you, it has been all Huskies early on.
It has been all Huskies. 14-3 here. You got Murdoch start off with really hot. Dominique Harding. Also, Michaela Schultz and their defense have been stifling. Reed hasn't been comfortable the entire first quarter with handling the pressure. Reed, eventually, you would think would settle down and start taking care of the basketball.
Now, Reno going to make it hard for him to do that with a full court press. Raiders trying to break that press.
Another turnover.
And no travel, fight for the basketball. We have a jump ball. The alternating possession will go in favor of the Reed Raiders, and they will maintain possession. But once again, a sloppy time up the court.
Coach Foster was trying to get a timeout there, and the officials didn't hear him, of course.
Townsell with the ball up top, trying to set that Reed offense, which has had struggled. Only 1 basket in the first quarter. Townsell, she is going to be fouled. They're going to call that Reno foul on Murdoch.
And as you see here on the replay, watch Townsell. This is her second time of attacking the basket, getting in the gap. As you can see, there's some contact down low.
So Townsell will shoot 2. Makes the first.
Now, if she makes this one, and this will allow Reed a chance to set up their pressure if they choose to go that way. And that's why making baskets is so crucial. Besides the fact that it gives you points, it allows you to set up your defense. And you see now, Chrissy, here they are with a little full court pressure of their own.
Trailing by 9, full court pressure. Nicely done by Reno. There's a drive to the bucket, and that is Taylor. Excuse me, that is Reno's Biasu fouled and going to the line. You see on the replay.
Biasu is a good player to have right there in the middle, so when she catches, she's so athletic and fast.
So the Huskies with the 9-point lead, but I'm sure Shane Foster, being the longtime coach that he is, not totally happy with everything he's seen. They have kind of had a few times when they've, been a little too fast and had some turnovers.
Yeah, and unsure what to do with the basketball. I mean, both of these teams. And here's another turnover.
That's a turnover forced by the Huskies. Good defense by Schultz off the leg of the Reed guard.
And, both of these teams like they've had some time off, so far.
Well, and Brenna Green talked about it, that the lack of practice over the snow day. Long shot from 3. Michaela Schultz.
That's a great play, too, coming out of timeout.
Well, and Reno has won those set plays, so to speak. They've come out, they had the tip-off to open the game, and then they've had a couple of these. At halftime, we'll have our Chase International halftime show, the leader in luxury real estate, now with 10 offices locally.
Harding or Schultz won't get credited with a turnover or steal there, but Dominique Hardin's sprint over to cut that guard off and prevent a layup, and Michaela Schultz getting back was a tremendous effort play by both of those young ladies.
And another turnover as Reed cannot get the basketball onto the playing floor, and here goes full court pressure, and Reno breaks it.
So anytime you got more turnovers than points, you're in trouble.
Hernandez on the steal, passes it towards Taylor Johnson, off of Johnson, and once again, another turnover, and Reno takes over. Here on the Dolan Auto Group replay, you see it just dribbled out of bounds by Taylor Johnson after the pass from Hernandez. Scramble for the basketball. Here we go.
This is why Minogue is so tough to play against. I mean, because their pressure is relentless, and they're going to make you work for everything.